All right, welcome. My name is Hollis Webb, and we are live from the studio. Man, it is Friday night. I'm so glad it is the weekend, and we're just doing this. So I'm kind of setting stuff up here and trying to get things sorted. We got something awesome planned for you guys tonight. We're playing some music, and we've got Horti as a special guest. We're gonna get him on the phone and get that going. I'm gonna check the comments here because I have a new way to do that and see if anybody's talking trash here. Okay. Okay, not yet, but I see that there are people watching, so I'm gonna pretend like there are people watching, and I need to make a show. So welcome to Hollis Webb live from the studio. Today's show is called The First Time. Right. Get that little out of the way, kind of as an introductory song. Clint's talking trash already, so we're going to address this. The camera angle needs to be fixed. All right. No one wants to see this, but Clint Buck made a comment, so we're going to fix this. Oh, okay. 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 Okay, now that's awful. Okay. All right. That work? Okay. That's a little bit better. I'd like for everybody to be able to see the guitar and see what magic my fingers are making. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's the worst. Okay. All right. So on the agenda, let's see. Got Mike Malekamati on. Hey, dude. Okay. Let's bring up the show here. There we go. So tonight, the title of tonight's show is called The First Time. And what I mean by that is that we're going to be talking about the first time we ever heard music. So if I had a sound effect here, I could do the and you think back when you were a kid, like an infant or a zygote. What was the first time that you heard music? So I think for me, it's most definitely a religious song. We were always in church when I was a kid, and Sunday school they were doing that. So that's why I played that song, because I think that's probably definitely one of the first songs I ever heard. But we'll talk more about that, and I'll also ask our special guest, Horti, about what was the first time that he heard music. So, all right. So next, I set out a call on Facebook to tell me what is the best chicken sandwich in San Antonio, Texas. And I ate a lot of chicken sandwiches. And so I'm going to reveal to you tonight who has the best chicken sandwich. All right, and our special guest is Horti. Really happy to have him on. Singer, songwriter, guitarist, actor, plays in the band Whiskey Shivers. He has a new EP out, Hortiology Volume 1. You can get it on Bandcamp. And I would recommend that you all head to Bandcamp and get that for him, because on Friday today they're doing like a no fees Friday. So all the money that you spend on Horti will go right to Horti, and that's a really good record. It's just what Horti does. He makes interesting, awesome music. So I'm looking forward to hanging out and talking with him a little bit. And I think I'm going to be able to convince him to do a song, which would be really cool. All right. And then I'm going to give you a little bit of weekly inspiration. You know, it's the end of a long week. Some of you have been working hard, really excited about Labor Day. I am too. And we're going to maybe talk about that a little bit. I'll send you off in a good way. So just to get some business out of the way here, I'm just going to throw on a couple of things here. First of all, let me see. Okay. If you like anything in the show, I'd really appreciate it if you would send us some cash. You know, every dollar you spent is probably spent on beer, but it gives me inspiration and motivation to, you know, get something interesting going. So go over to the Venmo and throw us a couple of bucks if you can. Really appreciate that. Another thing is that I think we can all agree that Facebook kind of sucks, and we wouldn't use it if we didn't have to. That's why I'm kind of pointing everybody towards the YouTube channel. So if you have a second, if you haven't already done this, go to my YouTube channel. I don't think they use the @ when you're searching, but if you just search for Hollis Webb, you'll find me. And I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. I have to have a certain number of subscribers to the channel to be able to do live streaming, because I'd like to get it off the Facebook platform, and I think it'd be better. So just that little bit of business. And I think that's it. I think we're going to get into a song here. But let's check the comments and see what everybody's saying. Okay. Clint Buck has seen Whiskey Shivers. Of course you've seen Whiskey Shivers. And we love Whiskey Shivers. Okay. Sesame Street. Carolyn Wilson. Hey, Carolyn. Sesame Street theme song. I might be able to pull that one up and give it a shot. I don't know. Okay. Mike's here. Okay. All right. Oh, Mike is talking about the time that we were at Bandcamp, and he brought his bongos or congas or tamala, something, and we sat outside the dorm and played, and we made like $20, which is sweet chicken sandwich money. All right. Let's see what I have on the list here. I'm going to try to do something different tonight, y'all. And it may work, it may not work, but we're trying things and we're experimenting because we're trying to make this better, you know? Okay. I've got my computer hooked up now, so I've got the power of the internet at my hands whenever we need. Here we go. Okay, this song requires that I tune down. Let's see what happens here. I haven't played this one in a while, but one of the things that I wanted to do is play more original songs, tell you about my album. I'm on Bandcamp as well. If you fancy it while you're over spending some money on Horti, maybe take a swing past my Bandcamp and buy the new record. The new record is called Rescue, and worked on it for a long time. Had lots of good friends help me out with it, and I'm pretty proud of it. So it'd be lovely if you went to Bandcamp. And if you are just kind of a Spotify person, you don't want to mess with it, it's on there too. So, all right. Okay, let's see how this goes. I'm guessing y'all are going to give me some feedback if the sound is weird. Beer and queso and late night TV, Scrabble and Uno and Monopoly. Just can't figure out what's wrong with me. It's hard to sleep at night. I'm a boxer without a fight. The color of my shiner just isn't as bright. All of the nice things aren't as nice without you. Scary movies, a coffee share, inappropriate clothing, an inappropriate stare. All of the nice things aren't as nice without you. Penguins and puppies and small orphan squirrels, swimming in porno and dancing with girls. Can't seem to get hungover anymore. It's hard to keep my eyes dry. I'm a Cold War without a sky. I'm a Loudon Wainwright one-man kind of guy. And all of the nice things aren't as nice without you. Aren't as nice without you. Aren't as nice without all of the nice things aren't as nice without you. All right, that was All of the Nice Things. Written a very long time ago. And it's got kind of a sister song on another little EP recording that I did called The Most Awful Things. And so those are kind of spiritual, song siblings. Let's see. Love the guitar. Mike Malikamani, you know how to get me going here. Love the guitar tone. Thanks, man. Lindsay says, nice pedal. What do you mean, nice pedal? Okay. I'm using lots of pedals. Which one? I think one of the reasons I get so excited for these live streams is like seeing everybody that shows up that's watching. Feels like I kind of feel like I'm, there with you. All right. Let's see. Okay, we're sounding good. That's great. Okay. All right. If you got a drink, drink it. Cheers. I'm drinking Love Street tonight, and out of a koozie little Yeti koozie that Clint, I don't know if you can see that. It says web. It says web. Clint Buck got it for me as a bachelor party gift. So, thanks, man. Oh, Dylan Loza. Man, so good to see you. All right. So, I wanted to talk about that last song a little bit. It's on the last album, and I'm not much of a lyrics person, really. I just try to get in, get out. But I think those are some of my most fun that I like listening to, that kind of thing. Lindsay and I always do these kind of like, what's your most favorite this or what's your most favorite that? And she's asked me before, what's your most favorite song to sing? And I mean, I guess maybe that's one of the ones, because I get to do the O, So. But enough chatty. More rock and roll-y. Let's do another one. This song is a new song, and I don't even think that Clint Buck has heard the final product of this. This is coming off of a new recording that I'm going to release very soon. Oh, what the? Oh, no. How embarrassing. Stop. This is the problem with using new technology. When I say new, I mean a computer. That sometimes it just doesn't work the way that you want it to. Sorry about that. Okay, it's fetching something. I hope everybody had a good week. I know teachers are back to school, kids are back to school, that kind of thing, and all sorts of stress with that. Hope everybody's staying safe and healthy. Okay, so this song is called Even Breathing, and it is going to be on the new album, new record that I'm doing. And, Clint says, what? You have my attention. It's not there yet, Clint. It's not, it's doing well, but I can at least, I took some recordings and just stripped out, the vocals and a little bit of guitar, and figured I'd play along with that. I've been having some drum kind of ideas, wanting to do that. So I'll do that. This is called Even Breathing. Let's do it. Your presence is so quiet, I don't know if you're even breathing. You dream of friends and you have in places that you fell in love. You wake yourself at night and wonder if you're even breathing. That weight upon your stomach, writhing round. I'd like to think he's showing off and shrugging his tiny shoulders. Sometimes he's awfully quiet. We sit close, held steady vigil, and I can't hear or feel to think whether we even breathing. You listen for the heartbeat, wondering if it's your own rhythm of the feeling. It cycles on and on. I don't know if I'm even breathing. Waiting in the family room, a fold-out single chair. Even when you're not talking, all that talks about your hair, and you're screaming, don't we know you're even breathing? And you're screaming, don't we know you're even breathing? And you're screaming, don't we know you're even breathing? And you're screaming, don't we know you're even breathing? And you're screaming, don't we know you're even breathing? Right. That's like such an easy way to do a song with a recording. I was, trying to mess around doing some guitar stuff a little bit more, not worry about the background, which is nice. All right. Let's see. Oh. We got some questions, and I'm always up for answering some questions here. After this, Mike Malekamati says, oh, who said more talky, less rocky? Oh, Macy Fletcher. Buck. Okay, I get it, Macy. Okay, that's what I said. It's okay. Stay where you are. Keep watching me. Keep listening to me, please. Okay. Mike Malekamati, after this song, can you fill us in on what you're listening to these days? Well, to be honest, Mike, for the past week, I've been listening to Horti, which is why I'm really excited about having him on because, it's just everything he does is great. He's developed so many different abilities and talents, and he's just kind of has a fearless artistic, part of him, and I want to get inside that guy's mind, and so I would really recommend that you listen to Horti. But some other stuff that I've been into lately, let me think. I've been listening to a lot of Chet Atkins, actually, and for some people, it's not really, guitar music's not really their thing, but that's kind of something I've been getting into because I've kind of fallen back in love with electric guitar and trying to get better, that kind of thing. And so that's a little bit what I'm listening to. In terms of bands, I'm always recommending right now that folks listen to Lord Huron. They just finished a tour for their new record, Vide Noir, and it's a really cool record. My favorite is Strange Trails. So, Mike, I would say that you ought to, if you're into listening to an album, good band, good record, that would be the kind of recommendation that I would make. But also, I want to make a weird recommendation because I'm into folks listening to weird music. So, if you get a chance, go on YouTube. There's a band called Black Midi, and they are British. I'm not sure specifically where from, but they're awesome. And I don't really know what to describe that style of music, but there's a tune called BM 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 BM, and it is awesome. So Dylan, give me lots of love, man. I appreciate it. Dylan Loza, ladies and gentlemen, is one of the great performers here in San Antonio, and he does a live stream as well. So definitely check him out. John Williams decided to tune in. Really appreciate that. John Williams is kind of he's a spiritual inspiration as well for a lot of this stuff. John Williams entered my life at a very pivotal moment in college, years, and he was a great chaplain to me and songwriter and friend. So it was fun getting that. So everybody's here. That's great. So let's move on here. Maybe try something a little bit more challenging. Get the drum machine out. So let's see what we can do. Let's see. Okay. The song hasn't started, so just give me a second, all right? Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Love, love is strange. Lots of people play for gain. Once you get it, you never wanna quit. And after you've had it, you're in an awful fit. Many people don't understand. No, no. They think loving is money in the hand. Your sweet loving is better than a kiss. When you leave me, sweet kisses I'll miss. Sylvia,
Yes, Mickey.
how do you call your lover boy?
Come here, lover boy.
And if he doesn't answer,
Oh, lover boy.
if he still doesn't answer,
I simply say, baby. Oh, baby. My sweet baby. You're the one.
baby, oh sweet baby, oh sweet baby. All right, just do a little something different. All right, Mickey and Sylvia, Love is Strange. Okay, Ashley Montesoro just joined the business. So happy to have her. I'm guessing Christian is lurking somewhere in the background, silently judging. All right, here we go. Here we go. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Okay. I think we need to holler out to Horti and get him involved. So let me just do that real quick. Horti. Here we go. Very good. Okay. So Horti has been sent the invitation. We're going to wait for him to come online. I'm so nervous, excited. Again, Chef Hortiosa, better known as Horti, of the band Whiskey Shivers. And we're just big fans of his. and can't wait to talk to him. So I'll probably play one more song. And then we will see if Horti joins us. I hope we don't have to interrupt the broadcast. I've never had a problem with this before, but we're stopping this thing if Horti has a problem. If Horti needs help and we have to go rescue him, we're going to go get him. Okay. Happier than with no mindset. And if you could, you'd look me like gold takes to the wind. But I'd have jumped from my trees and I'd dance like the king of the ice. So the rest of our lives would have fared well. Slang when you notice the stripes, like dirt in your fries. Hope it's right when you die, old and lonely. Dawn breaks like a bull through the hell. Never should have called, but my head's to the wall and I'm lonely. To me like the gold takes the wind, I'd have jumped from my trees and I'd dance like the king of the ice. And the rest of our lives would have fared well. This song off early because I think Master Horti has jumped in with us. So let me just get this going. So tonight I would like to introduce my guest, singer, songwriter, actor, guitarist, Jeff Hortioza.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Okay, this.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Oh no, I can hear you. You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. Cool. Whoa.
Okay. All right.
This.
Yeah, man. You look good. It's so good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too, man.
So, Jeff, I've been thinking a lot about you, and you know, I just was so excited about getting to talk to you. And first of all, I just want to throw this up here so we talk about that again. Your new record, Hortiology, Volume 1.
Yeah.
You just released it, and
yes.
It's awesome, and it's I have a lot of things to say about it, but you know, what I'm hearing is a lot talk. It's a little bit more, I think, serious than some of the other stuff that you had done, and it's also seriously good, just like everything else you've done. And so I was wondering if you might talk a little bit about what were the sounds and kind of influences and inspirations for this new EP.
Well, so that new EP in context is 3 years after my the latest one before that, Corpus Callosum, which came out in 2017, and that one was my first foray into like a studio album and self-producing and really just kind of going at it and giving it everything that I could and spending a lot of time like just layering tracks and adding harmonies and rearranging things and cutting and pasting and
Right.
just so much time in the studio and that in the secondary editing process that by the time that this one rolled around, which I recorded last summer over at King Electric, I kind of just thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to do what I can accomplish on stage with a trio. And I wanted to do like, like Cream or Hendrix, I guess throwing back to any of those like James Gang, any of those early like power trios.
Right.
Kind of that early, late 60s, early 70s sort of um, small amp, heavy guitar sound before it was really like, I guess in the 80s and late 70s, the heavy sound started being more like your overdriven Marshall stacks and stuff like that. And it's like,
Right.
you doodly doodly do. But like in the early 70s and late 60s, you had like Santana and you had like, early Zeppelin. And it's kind of I don't know, a tubular small amp sort of sound. It's hard to describe, but I wanted that with a lot of air in it, like with a lot of space, just kind of performative space. So there's a lot more, I think, room for each of the instruments to sort of interact. And I just recorded that one like in a day with Adam Nuri on bass and Aaron Parks on drums.
And I was going to
And
ask you that because I think for your other records that you did everything, right?
I well, not everything. I had James Gwynn play a lot of drums. I had
Uh-huh.
Chris Wade played bass. I had actually last record, the studio one. Prior to that, yes, I'd done everything. Like, and I still continue to do mostly everything myself on demos. Sometimes I'll, outsource a few things, but um, no, I mean, I would play everything, and then I sent it on, and at some point, I got Gwen to come in to replace the drums, and then Wade did the bass and stuff like that. But this one was just 100% like I just kind of went in there with those guys after we rehearsed it a few times and just went for it.
Right. Um, well, I'm going to jump right into this and kind of pivot over and just
Sure.
get you started on the question because asking you, a person like you, this kind of question is always really interesting to me because you've been all over the country. You have
Hmm.
played, and what I could like find out about you, I think you played in everyone's band as well. Everyone that has a band, you've played in it, and I know that you. I read the story of how you joined Whiskey Shivers. You were at a
Yeah.
party, and they didn't have their guitarist, and you just kind of asked if you could sit in and play a little bit. How badass did you play for like some random guy at for a band to pick up some random guy at a party? Do you remember that night? Do you
How
remember
many minutes it
especially
was?
playing well?
No, not playing particularly well. We did Whiskey Before Breakfast, I remember, which is it's like only they did it in D, and at the time I didn't know it without a capo, so I was struggling. But you know what? I gritted my teeth and I kind of just went for what I did, and I think that's like the general of a whiskey shivers spirit.
And I think that's a thing about you as well. I think you everything you do seems to be good, and I don't call people talented. I call people like you just busted your ass all the time. And
Yeah.
can you describe to me a little bit of what young Horty was like when he was first conjuring this notion that he might enjoy playing an instrument? What was
Playing an
that?
instrument.
Yeah, what I mean, it would be cool if you would answer the question. What do you think the first music that you heard was, and then when did that translate into I've got to make that sound?
The first music I heard, thinking back, like first music I can remember in my like child brain is
Yes,
probably like 50s rock from my mom and my dad because they
right.
grew up in the Philippines, and to them, American culture, they're all about like swing dancing and like
Yeah,
cha-cha and boogie and all that stuff. So like all the American music and the dance crazes and stuff. They had it too in the Philippines. And my folks, my mom's still a pretty competent dancer. It's awesome.
That is
But they
awesome.
had, I can recall like specifically like those dreamy eyes, you got such dreamy eyes. Like I think it's like Paul Anka or Johnny Tillotson or something. A lot of those like croony like 50s sort of like general
Right.
pop dudes like Dave Clark Trio. And of course that sort of evolved into like the Beatles because they had that in their collection. I mean, they moved to the States in the 70s, so a big chunk of their kind of Americana scene was like 60s sort of rock sort of stuff. They didn't get so much into like Zeppelin or any of that heavier stuff later, but ABBA
Right.
definitely. And
And we're
church music, I grew up singing, we went to church and stuff.
yeah. And were either of your parents musical?
Insofar as the culture lends everybody being kind of musical, like they weren't performative, no, but they could sing. They could all sing on key, they could sing in pitch and on key. Kind of everyone in my family, I think so. We had an organ. I don't know why they got an organ,
Nice.
but they had an organ growing
Everybody
up.
had an organ.
Yeah, right. It was so cool. It was like one of those like you could press the thing and then you could move the little drawbar or whatever it was. It
Yeah.
was like it had 1 to 10 on it. It would go, and then the beat would have
Yeah.
that thing is rad, man. I went home like 2 Christmases ago and was playing on it like as an adult musical conscious self, and it's crazy thinking about what people actually could do on an organ.
Oh yeah. You got
Like
the
think of
whole
the
you got everything available to you right there.
yeah.
They had, little drum machines and some of the newer ones that, just did like a little beat, that kind of thing. Yeah, I
Yeah,
get that.
dude. Oh
And
man, like think of the complexity of the baby elephant walk.
yeah. um okay, so I know your first instrument was violin, right? They just stuck you with a
Yeah.
violin. How old
Yeah.
were you? Do you remember?
Five, 5 or 6.
Do you remember liking it? Was playing violin, learning how to play violin fun for you?
Uh, I guess. I mean, it was a thing. I don't really remember being particularly attached to it. I mean, my older brother and my older cousins, they all did it before us. So like they were kind of like a pack,
Right.
a few years ahead of us. Like they were a pack they were a cluster of them, and our parents made them all go and kind of do it together. And then when they were old enough, they were already out of the same kind of school. But they were already in high school and moved on with life and weren't
Uh-huh.
doing like music like that anymore. So by the time I was a kid, I was kind of like, me and my sister did it for a while, then she dropped out of it, and I just kind of stopped by the age of like 7.
Uh-huh.
And
Um
then at the age of 8, Dookie by Green Day came out, and I wanted a drum kit more than anything. I wanted a drum
that
kit so bad.
that is so interesting. So that's a great point because I have an album like that. When the first time I heard "Smells Like Teen Spirit" on the radio, that's the thing
Yeah.
that said it's like I want to make that whatever that is. I want to make that sound, and I've got to.
Oh yeah.
And so you didn't get a drum kit; you got a guitar.
Oh no, well no, I ended up getting a drum kit. That was the first thing I
Oh,
ended
you
up doing.
did.
Yeah, a drum kit. I learned drums. I took lessons from like the age of 8 till 9, and then I guess I wasn't a great drum student, so I just kind of stopped. And then I took guitar lessons at the age of 11, and I quit that too because my hands were just like so small and pudgy and couldn't do anything. Uh, Flash forward 2 years later, 1999, and Californication came out, and I wanted to play drums and guitar. After hearing those things, I was
Yeah.
like, man, I want to play drums like that, and I want to play guitar. And then I got into guitar. My brother had an electric guitar, and he's the one who introduced me to Pumpkins and Primus and like Nine
Uh
Inch
huh.
Nails and
Yeah.
Smashing Pumpkins and stuff like that.
And
Nirvana, damn,
yeah.
pretty much everything.
Um. So you are quite the multi instrumentalist. How good are you at drums now?
I would say I'm like fluid. Like,
Okay.
okay, so think of it this way. You ever met someone from like another country, like, and they speak English, okay, they
Right.
get it out across, like, but they don't care. They're not thinking to themselves, I'm not saying this perfectly and I don't care anymore. I just want to get the idea across. That's
It's
kind of
like
where I'm at with drums, you know?
it's like a different language that you're
Yeah,
pretty fluent. You can communicate with it.
sure. Yeah, I can keep up a conversation, but it's like I'm not going to try to like, recite Shakespeare or anything in front of you or anything, but I
Yeah,
can I can I can hold it down. That's like my favorite thing at house parties is to get behind the drum kit.
right. And that is always appreciated by those of us who can't do it. I've had several very, very talented people try to teach me how to play drums, and it's a struggle for me. And
Yeah.
when you were talking about it, it made me think what was it inside of you when you were a kid that drove you to learn your instrument so well? Because you are a really great guitarist
Thank you.
and a great singer. And so, what was it? I know, especially with guitar, I've hit plateaus before and kind of got bored with, stuff I thought I was supposed to learn, and I wondered what was it? What was it? An internal thing? Were you trying to learn a specific song, or you just thought guitar was cool, or what was the motivation to keep going?
I mean, so for me, the first 10 years of wanting to play guitar, 13, I picked it up, right? When
Yeah,
11, I couldn't do it. 13, I was like, oh crap. I was like, I
right.
can do Louie, Louie at least,
Yeah, yeah,
and all this stuff like just like all the little cool riffs. It's like as a 13-year-old, um, let's see, multi instrumentalist. I think, I guess, just to skip ahead a little bit, I guess it's like 16. My friend Brad got like a Tascam like 8-channel recorder thing.
yes. That is always
You know what I'm
awesome.
saying?
Yeah, when the
Yes, and
when a friend, and for us it was our drummer that kind of got into the recording thing, bought every single
yeah,
adapter he could possibly find at Radio Shack to like rig up us, something to record us. We didn't
yeah,
initially have something as fancy as that, but
yeah,
recording kind of opened up my world, and it sounds like it did for you as well.
yeah, definitely so. I mean, because when it's like, golly, I'm like, I guess I'm all over the place. Okay, so like, music, I guess comes, there's a horizontal aspect of it. Like, here's the front, here's the back,
Do
and then
tell.
here's all the stuff that happens in the middle.
Uh huh.
You know,
Uh
it's like
huh.
here's the beginning of the song, here's the plot arc, here's the end of the song. But
Right.
when you're recording, you get to think of it like vertically instead. Like here's the drums, and then here's where the bass goes with it, and then here's where the
Right.
guitar goes on top of that. You know, and then after a while, you kind of get this whole sort of uh, three-dimensional picture. You know?
Yeah, and for me, and I'm not sure if this was the same kind of result. I got a little addicted to recording because I felt like my songwriting really improved from doing home recording and having to listen to yourself over and over and over again, and really like being introspective and kind of improving, getting better because you're hearing what it is, what other people hear. You know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, man.
so Horty, I think you may have mentioned this, but you grew up in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it like being young Hortiosa and, um, learning how to play music in a place like Kentucky?
Mm-hmm.
Not and your family wasn't from a place like
Oh
Kentucky,
yeah, definitely so.
and
I
so
mean,
I would imagine that I don't know, and you're this kind of like it seems like you're this kind of person that does what's badass no matter what it is. You're not scared. You're not scared to just like do it and to do something funny or make something um make something up or
weird.
just
Yeah,
be
yeah,
creative,
yeah.
like be weird, but it strikes me like that Kentucky is a place that doesn't look really fondly on that kind of stuff, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'm interested in
No, I
hearing your
mean,
experience.
yes and no, like I mean, even being Filipino so much so, like yeah, there's a lot of kind of shy conservatism to it, but as well, there's like this really funny kind of back back not backhanded humor, but sort of like insider humor that's like really kind of loving and kind of
Yeah.
elbowing you and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Kentucky's weird. There's some like weird stuff that goes around there, and it's like I feel like there was so many times as a kid, like being primarily raised in a Filipino household, where it's like, yeah, in some instances it's like, oh man, egg on my face. I didn't understand that that was like a social faux pas. Like, I didn't, and like, I went to a small like private Catholic school too. Like there was only like 100 kids there. And then when I
Mm-hmm.
went to the public high school, suddenly it was like, oh man, there's like 550 kids here. It's so huge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's still a small little high school, but to my eyes, it was huge.
Right.
Um, but
And
it's like,
you played in bands in high school, right?
oh man, that was like my connecting tie there. That was like my thing. I felt like there were so many times and people just the first 2 years of high school. I guess these were like really formative years. The first 2 years, it's like I was kind of a weirdo outsider kid who like played guitar. I had like really long like hair. I was like kind of like a gangly, like hung out with the skateboarder kids.
Right.
Just goofy. We were so just we were dorks and we didn't fucking care. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the guys are into either skateboarding or video games, and those are the things that they excelled at. But I played like a ton of guitar, and we are all just kind of dudes together.
Yeah.
Uh, and then
Well,
by junior year, senior year, it's like, oh, cool, like, oh, this guy actually plays guitar. He's got some sort of like character to him. And then after a while, people just kind of learn to respect the difference in the musical. And I mean, like the music had so much to do with it. It was like my confidence. It was my
it's
the
empowering.
way it's empowering. Yeah, it makes it so easy. It's like being able to deliver a joke. It's like if you can take this weird, crazy feeling that you've had and can't even express, no matter how many pages or journals you fill up, if you have this feeling for 6 months and you can't figure it out, and then one day you put it into a line and you sing in front of a bunch of people and they get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like,
It's
oh
magical.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
magical.
did it.
Yeah. That's
And everyone else benefits and everyone feels good too. They're like, oh man, I can't believe that just happened.
it's
Like I can't believe you said that and it hit that chord and it struck a nerve deep inside of me.
that's neat. And I can't
Same as a
imagine.
fan as well.
What's that?
Oh, same as a fan as well.
Right. And I that makes me think about so your band Whiskey Shivers.
Hmm.
Um, I imagine that you miss playing with them this year. It's been a tough year for professionals of your ilk.
Yeah.
Besides doing the recording with doing Hortiology, is there anything else that you're finding that you're filling your time with? Are you working
Yeah.
on some new music or learning a new instrument? What are you doing?
Oh yeah. I mean, I've been playing. I played a lot of piano at the beginning of the beginning of the lockdown and stuff like that. I have a handful of new tunes written. I have kind of things sequestered away for different projects. Like there's Robin Alice, my other one of my side bands. I got
Right.
uh I'm trying to get a couple tunes for that. Whiskey Shivers, I'm trying to like kind of brainstorm on what all these things are for, because it's like it's really just an issue of like personal boundaries. Like where do I want this song to go as an artist?
Right.
Like do I want this to be a Shiver song? Do I want this to be a Horty song? Like, and largely it depends on like, do I hear harmonies? Is what am I hearing on it? Am I hearing like a guitar solo? If I'm hearing a guitar solo with a wah wah pedal, then it's automatically not a Whiskey Shiver song. If it's like the whole thing I want to do is like a blues guitar solo, then it's like, I mean, not saying that's not possible in Whiskey Shivers, but it's like there's so many other great instruments that
Right.
if I were to be like, guys, I want to spend like 2.5 minutes just playing like a guitar solo, and they'd be like, why would you do that?
And
And my
so
thought, like, I
that
wouldn't want to do that.
and that is such a great thought. And something I notice about your music is that you seem to throughout your songs and I've got Spider Island and Hortiology, and I listen
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
the
Corpus Colossum.
Corpus Colossum. I listen to that one as well, and it's something that you do that I think is really interesting. Is that you'll switch mid song, almost in a different style of music, but it keeps the same theme, and it just
Yeah,
works so interestingly. And I don't, at least maybe my taste and scope is limited because I don't
Hmm.
hear a lot of music that does that or does it as well as you did. And in every kind of style that you do, you also do it really well. So,
Yeah.
what are some things that are informing your playing and your songwriting right now? We've mentioned the 70s rock,
Oh
um,
yeah.
but I
Oh
hear
man.
elements of almost maybe metal or
Oh
like,
totally.
alternative, jazz,
Yeah.
of course, folk, that kind of
Yes,
thing.
definitely. Man, I think it's just like, if you're gonna keep playing, then it's like if you're gonna keep playing, then you just gotta kind of find what's fun, you know? You
Right.
gotta find what gives you satisfaction and enact a certain sense of discipline with it, don't just sit there and wheedle dee and watch TV and don't like think about the notes that you're playing or the intent that is being conveyed through it. But at the same time, don't like for me, I can't stress out. Like I'm not like a huge like sit down and write down the tabs or read the sheet
Right.
music or like I'm not like a huge numbers guy. Like to me, numbers are interesting. Like numbers insofar as like one, two, like that stuff, like the intervallic numbers. To me, that stuff is interesting.
Yeah.
Like what a six sounds like versus like like a nine or 11. Like I guess that's where the jazzy sort of stuff comes in. But
But
that's just
it's not math. It's just, it's relationships, and it's just the names that we give to
yeah.
those relationships. Yeah.
Right. To an extent, I like to know those numbers, but to an extent too, I'm very just kind of a feely, improvisational kind of a what's going on. Certainly, if I'm going into an album or something like that, I'll write the solos out. But generally, it's like I only try to play it perfect for the album, and then every live performance of it, I'm just kind of gonna shape around it and then
Right.
willy nilly my way through whatever I feel like. It's just whatever I feel like.
Now, may
Really.
may I ask, and if you could hold it up, what are you playing tonight? What guitar are you playing tonight?
Today I haven't. This is my Eastman archtop. Let's see, it's like
Very cool.
AO AR 503 CE. It's a
That's very
smaller
cool.
body. It's an archtop, but
Oh,
it's
that's
only like
beautiful.
15 inches. It's 15 inches across and only like you can see it's only like 2.5 inches thick.
How
So it's
interesting.
kind of it feels like an electric guitar, and it only has one pickup. It only has this bridge pickup, which I run through my amp, which has I run through a Mucho Busto pedal, which I keep on, and the Mucho Busto is like a hand wound tube screamer that they make here in Austin by Durham Electronics, and then I have a delay reverb,
Right.
and then I have an amp that I got built by my friend Jeremy
Oh, that's
Jerry
fun.
Slemenda Delva amps, and
That's
that's it.
very
Like I
cool.
like to just have pretty much just one thing, because in my mind it's like the less stuff you have, the less stuff that can go wrong. With an acoustic guitar, it's perfect. An
Right.
acoustic guitar that sounds good is a perfect thing because it's like self-contained. You don't need anything. There's nothing that can go wrong aside from standing between you and the sound hole. But
R-
if you're playing an electric guitar and you have a million effects, it's like if you have one little cable that goes out, it
You're done.
sucks.
Well,
you
and
know?
it makes me think. I'm looking down, and it's like a rat's nest in here, Horty.
Yeah.
It's this.
The cable.
It's the worst. If I move my foot the wrong way, then all this is gonna like come down and catch on fire, and it's not
You
good.
might unplug one.
Yeah, I know. I know exactly. Well,
Yeah.
I was wondering. I asked you when I first asked you to come and do this weird thing. I asked if you might play a song. Did you? Would you give us a song to play?
Oh, off of mine
No.
or
Would you play a song for us?
oh sure. I mean of mine or do you want like the first song I heard or what do you like
No,
do you
I
want
want you to do. I want you to do whatever you want to do. But I have one question before you play your
sure.
song, and then I'm gonna let you go so you can enjoy your Friday night. Now, some of your credits include that you are an actor and you star. You didn't star, but you were in the movie Pitch Perfect 3 with your
It's
bandmates,
perfect.
Whiskey Shivers.
Yeah,
And I
definitely.
just I just have one question because I watched the
Sure.
movie, and how could your character be so mean to Anna Kendrick and Rebel Wilson? How could you
I
be?
know.
I mean, you're just like, have you ever been in a scene like any sort of battle of the bands or anything like that? And did that come out while you were, when you're in competition mode? Do you just become evil Horty?
No, I think I'm just you see, I don't know. I guess in my head, I was like prodding them along, like, me and the
Yeah.
guys, we all talk shit on each other.
Right. Right.
You know, I guess it came off as mean. No, I am. Let's see. I'm a senior musician. I've been around. I've done a couple
Yeah.
tours.
Yeah.
I guess inspiration is like if I was really in that situation and someone was like, "Oh yeah, we made up this band and blah 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 blah," I'd be super supportive, but I'd also be like, what are you
Right.
what
Well,
are you up for? What do you play
Horty.
guitar?"
Yeah. Well, Horty, you're the nicest guy. I think one thing Lindsay mentioned to me, we were listening to your music, and she was like, why Horty is really good at what he does is because he says yes to things, and I really appreciate you joining us and having a little chat with me.
Sure.
This was really really interesting to me, and I'm sure is really interesting to everybody that's watching, and I just really appreciate it. So if you would do us a favor and play a song and tell us what you're going to play.
Sure, I'm gonna play my song "Jesus Christ." There's a music video for this, followed by a short film called War Monkey. You guys, if you got 27 minutes to burn tonight and you're finished with Mulan, Mulan comes out tonight. So after you
Oh,
watch
that's
that,
cool.
if you want to watch my short film, you know,
Very good. Very good. Okay.
put the kids to
Well,
bed though. There's a lot of F words in my film. Maybe there are in Mulan too. I don't know. I haven't seen
well,
it yet.
the kids need to learn Horty because
Yeah,
it's a fucked up world out there. So they need
yeah,
to
it is.
understand. All right, ladies and
All right,
gentlemen,
cool. Let me read this
Jeff
out.
Hortiosa, Horty, performing Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. The sun comes up, the sun goes down on a little quiet Southern Baptist mountain town. All the signs are all around that God truck smack dab here in number 15,000 miles away, there's a bunch of people at the beach say they don't pray the way we pray, so the souls are gonna have to burn it out forever. Why, oh, why, well, if sin said sorry, goes to paradise. Good man's soul will certainly thrive. I will land the dead in the name of Jesus Christ. Word moves slow, word moves fast, but the world's really big, it's army surely lasts. Sometimes words will make you pass, an ocean deep, jump fast. It takes a man to build God's plan, put a Bible in every hand. Try to change them if he can, cause if he don't, then the souls are burning out forever. Why, oh, why, when sin says star goes to paradise. Good man's soul will certainly thrive. I'm letting it in the name of Jesus. Oh, wow, wow, if sin says star goes to paradise. Good man's soul will certainly thrive. I'm letting it in the name of Jesus Christ. Good man's soul will certainly thrive. I'm in the name of Jesus. Oh, wow, wow, listen, say, are you some paradise? Good man's soul will certainly thrive. I'm in the name of Jesus Christ.
Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, that was
Yeah.
Jesus Christ performed by Horti. Hey, man, I cannot thank you enough for coming on.
Thanks, man.
Again, I'm
Thank
going to
you.
plug your record here.
Please.
And the horticulture. I was calling it hortiology.
Oh, it's
I'm
good.
so sorry, man. I'm
It's
so
good.
sorry,
That might be
man.
the next one.
Yeah,
No worries.
that's exactly. But it's trademarked now, so you can't use hortiology. That's gonna be the name of my
Sweet.
next record. So
Well, maybe I'll be the artist formerly known as Horti for the next one then.
right, all right, man. Well, I certainly appreciate it, and you have a good evening. Okay,
You too, man. Thank you so much for having me out.
thank you.
Yeah, be good.
All right, Horty is just the best. He does that. I still have the website up. Go and check out his website. Also, it is the Bandcamp No Fee Friday, and you should go to Bandcamp and search him up and check out what he's doing there. Man, that guy knows a lot, and I like the way he thinks about music. And you'd hope that you'd hope that your kid or your bandmate would have that same kind of courage and curiosity and just pure ability to play a song, write a song, and sing a song. He's great. So let's get back into it and play some music. How about it? Where you going to? I don't mind. I've killed my world and I've killed my time. So where do I go? What do I see? See many people coming after me. So where you going to? I don't mind. If I live too long, I'm afraid I'll die. So I will follow you wherever you go. If your offered hand still open to me. Strangers on this road we're on. We're not two, we're one. So you've been where I've just gone. From the land that brings losers on. So we will share this road we walk. Mind our mouths and beware our tongue. Till peace we find, till you what I'll do.
All the things I own, I will share with you. And if I feel tomorrow
like I feel today, we'll take what we want and leave the rest away. Strangers on this road we're on. We're not two, we're one. Holy man and holy priest, this love of life makes me weak in my knees. And when we get there, make your plan, 'cause soon I feel you're gonna carry us away. In a promised life you made us believe. Oh, many men, there is so much grief. And my mind is proud, but it aches with rage. And if I live too long, I'm afraid I'll die. Strangers on this road we're on. We're not two, we're one. Strangers on this road we're on. We're not two, we're one. All right. Total Strangers. I was thinking about Clint Buck when I decided to play that song. What do we got going in the comments here? Are y'all mouthing off? Mary Douglas stopped in to watch. Thank you so much, Mary. Thanks for the much needed live music. Oh, said Zach. Mary didn't say squat. Zach is the one that's doing it. Macy Fletcher Buck said, this was our first dance at our wedding. Well, yeah. It's a hella romantic song. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting all my stuff set up here. All right. Now, I think now is the time. I may have skipped over the agenda, but I can't delay in doing this. I told you I was going to reveal what the best chicken sandwich in San Antonio, Texas was, and I'm a man of my word. So if I had a drum beat, crap. That's not a drum roll. Okay. The best chicken sandwich, and I've tried many chicken sandwiches. I made a call out on Facebook to give me your suggestions. And so I'm going to list off all the chicken sandwiches that I ate. I was sick after most of them. Because it's like a big fat chicken sandwich, you know. Okay, I had the chicken sandwich from Cullum's Attagirl. I had the spicy chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A. And it's okay. I also had the chicken sandwich from Smack's Chicken Shack here in San Antonio, Texas. And today I had the spicy chicken sandwich from Popeyes. The notorious chicken sandwich from Popeyes. And I must say, the flavor was good, the spice was right, but it didn't look very good, and the pickles were too big. So anyway, and I also there's a ridiculous chicken sandwich at Chili's, actually, that is a close runner-up, but the winner of the best chicken sandwich in San Antonio, Texas, goes to Smack's Chicken Shack. Thank you so much. They're on St. Mary's. Those guys made me a chicken sandwich, and that was so delicious. And they're kind of in a pop-up, not really a food truck kind of thing, but it's a stand. And they were sweating their asses off, and they were making some chicken sandwiches. And I really appreciate those guys. So Smack's Chicken Shack is the number one chicken sandwich in San Antonio, Texas. Everybody should applause. Attagirl, hands down. Mary? No, it's a close second. Ashley Montesoro says Chi Bird. You know, I guess it would be in the running, but I haven't been able to get back there because they had weird hours or they were closed. But their chicken's good. Their chicken's very good. So basically, everybody in the chat disagrees with me. That's fine. You should, if you've had as many chicken sandwiches as I've had, then you wouldn't want to have as many chicken sandwiches as I've had. There was a bad decision. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, let's do another song. How about it? All right. Let's see if I can get this one right. Oh. Son of a gun. Okay. Da-ba-da. Here we go. All right. right. Little Lucy. That was Lucy Tell Me a Secret from the album Rescue. And we love playing that one. So, by the way, hug your dogs. If you got a dog, you know who else is this pandemic is difficult and hard on? This is your dogs. Your dogs don't want to spend this much time with you. They wish you would go to work and leave them alone because dogs like sleep 10 hours a day, and it's mostly during the daytime. And you're cramping their style, so everybody needs to wear their stupid mask and not go out and talk to people when you're feeling stupid sick, and quit breathing on people, basically. So your pets can get some rest, please. So just on behalf of your pets. Okay, what do we got here? Okay. I know. Zach pointed out something that I said just now, and I totally heard it as soon as I said it, and which is why you shouldn't end sentences with prepositions. That's why. So Zach can point out that you've said something gross. Okay, I think Ashley Montesoro says, I think you're referring to cats. My dog loves that we are home. No, she doesn't, Ashley. Your dog can't express this, but she wishes you people would just leave the house for a little bit so they can get some peace and quiet. Your dog told me that, by the way. All right. So I think we're going to get to the last portion of the evening, and it is just so... this show was so much fun. Having Horti come on and talk, he's the real deal. And that's what he's living... it's just I could probably talk to him for hours and hours just about everything, but his music is great, and he's a wonderful musician, and you just gotta check him out and listen to folks. And I know a lot of musicians are struggling right now because they can't be in the place on stage where they're most home, and so hopefully we get Horti back on a stage and off this stupid live streaming thing, because that's where he belongs, and we got to go out when this whole pandemic thing is over. Everybody needs to just go out for a few months straight, every single night. I don't care if you have to work the next day. Your pets will need some time anyway. But anyway, I wanted to just say a couple of words real quick about your mental and emotional well-being, and just give you I want to psych you up. We're living in crazy times, and I watched so much news recently that I felt physically ill, and there's a lot in this world to feel physically ill about. But I just, what I would encourage you to do is, use this time to look inward and really think about how you can make the environment for other people better, because it'll make yourself feel better. So the people that you live with, whether it's your husbands or wives or your children or your pets, I guess I would challenge you to try to do something to make their lives easier. I've been thinking about this a lot lately as we're all going a little bit crazy, and I just want to inspire you to do that. And one of the ways that you can do that is by trying to improve yourself, or trying to learn something new. This all this time at home is a great opportunity to learn a musical instrument if you want to, or just sing, just do something out of the ordinary. One thing that's great about Horti's music is that he will kind of take you on twists and turns, and I was talking to him a little bit about how he switches styles so frequently, and every style is done really well. It's hard to get bored with a Horti song because there's always something interesting and new that's coming up. So, I guess I would tell you to get tucked into things that make you feel powerful and empowered. And for me, that's playing music and playing guitar and writing songs. And I hope that for those of you out there that are watching, that you have something like that that you can do that doesn't necessarily require going out and breathing on people, and you can do that. So again, if you sat through this and you watched the whole thing, I just really appreciate it. It's such a pleasure and an honor being able to play for you and have a chat with really neat, amazing people. So I'm gonna just do one little closeout song here, and we will say good night. My name is Hollis Webb, live from the studio, and I'm going to hawk this one more time, just in case there's anything that you heard that you like. So just get that up there. If you want to throw me a few bucks, we really appreciate it. And that's it. Lock up the cellar, turn out the lights. It's been a long, long day. Hard at work in the laboratory, testing new ways to procrastinate. Measuring frequency and depth, is there a method to the rate of your speed? How can you tell the very moment when I want to suddenly a real need? Science can't explain beating of my heart when I see your face. I can't duplicate rush of motion in my gait when I see you again. 'Cause I got this disease, it makes me weak in my knees. Won't you come rescue me?